everyone, this is Katie from Singapore. I'm very happy and pleased to see myself on the top 25 for this year Graphic 45 design team call. As I recalled last year that when I saw my name on the design team list last year, I was so happy that I managed to make it to the design team for 2014/15. And I should say that it has been an amazing year with Graphic 45, and these are great, wonderful, and amazing people that I really seriously had a great year with them. So here I would like to give my very big thank you to Graphic 45 for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be able to create, to share a lot of my inspiration, and of course my amazing and creative design team members. I will never forget you. So I'm trying out for another year, and I hope that I'm able to make it for my second year. And instead of showcasing 3 projects that represent myself as an artist or designer, this time around I'm going to show you how to make this. It's a vegetable crate. I have been recently very obsessed with this, and I wanted to do something very real and realistic. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to alter a normal wooden box into something like this. So I will move on to the tutorial now. Alright, to get started, you need a wooden box like this. It doesn't matter how big or how small, it depends on what you really want. So I actually bought this little wooden box from Daiso. It's a $2 value shop coming from Japan, and we have a lot of outlets in Singapore, and everything inside the store is only at one price. Everything is at $2. So I bought this little box that I think that is small and cute enough for me to transform into the vegetable crate. So it doesn't matter that it has to be of this particular size. It can be a smaller one or it can be a bigger one, depends on what you really want. And I believe that you can actually get boxes like this in your local craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So it actually doesn't matter. The most important thing in this tutorial is to show you how to transform this little wooden box into the vegetable crate. Alright, now the very first thing is I'm going to do some painting on this box, and then we will move on. Alright, I'm done painting the box. Okay, so what actually I have done is I painted some chestnut brown on the edges of the box, throughout the edge of the box, because I'm going to line some paper around, so I didn't paint everything. And then on the inside I paint a darker version of a brown. Okay, what I'm using is this Martha Stewart craft paint, the chestnut brown, and this burnt umber brown by Rowney. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of brown that you are using. The reason that I painted it brown is because this wooden box that I bought is actually white in color. It actually had a layer of white, and that's why I wanted to paint it brown to have this wood feel. If the box that you bought is already kind of like the normal natural wood, it actually is okay not to paint over. Alright, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is to line the surface with some burlap. And I have prepared and cut some burlap here. Okay, I have actually cut them in strips of about ½ inch, which I'm going to line it somewhere around here. Okay, because this burlap I use is not of a superior quality and it has a lot of holes in it. That's why I actually painted it inside, because I wanted to line inside with burlap so that when I glue on it, I cannot see white spots on it. So that's the reason why I painted it inside. Okay, this is optional. You can line with paper, but I wanted it to with some burlap so that it's more natural looking. So now what I'm going to do is to stick them around. Because we are going to line some papers here, I'm not going to cut whole piece of burlap, it's just only strips to glue it over there. Okay, how to glue? I would think that you will need to have beacons, maybe fabric tag or the 3-in-1 craft wool would be better to adhere the strips onto the edges. So this is how you need to do. Add some glue here, and then I'm going to stick it at the corner here like this. You can trim the edges after that. So like that. Okay, I'm going to continue to do this, finish up the edges and put this to fast forward mode. As you could see, I have all done up lining the 3 compartments with burlap. If you take a closer look, if I didn't paint the box brown in color, you will actually see through the white paint. That's the reason why I actually painted it brown. Okay, it is not actually perfect, and that is the way that I want it. If you want it perfect, you can measure exactly, but usually I don't really. And I also have lined up the edges with the burlap as well, as you could see. That's why I only paint the edges with brown paint. And then the next thing we are going to do is to line the center with some pattern paper. So in order to do that, you will need to measure your box. So as I measure, my box here is about 7.5 by 2 1/4 approximately. And then the base is a little bit bigger. It's about 2 5/8. Yeah, and then over here is about, the height here is about 2 1/4. Okay, so usually I will leave about 1/4 inch on the surrounding. So here I have already pre-cut some of the papers from the Home Sweet Home collection. You may use any paper of your choice, but I prefer this. Okay, so as you could see, as I glue it on the center, you can see the burlap like this. So I will go ahead and distress the edges and glue it down. So I will use this to distress, just to give it a rough edge. done lining up, covering up the surfaces with paper. So all you need to give a little bit of good press, and then we will continue. Okay, so once you have finished lining up the paper, this is how it looks like. Okay, now is the fun part. You are going to cut strips of about 1/2 inch. These are the medium weight chipboard that I think is by the brand called Grafix. Not sure is that how it pronounced, but I will check it out and state the brand below the video. Okay, so you need to cut in strips of 12 inch. This is about 12 inch by 1/2 inch. So practically I actually cut the entire whole chipboard. So what you need to do is to distress the edges. I distress it with Burlap. You can distress with your favorite brown ink. So this is how you're going to build the crate. You are going to line them up like this. Okay, yeah, as you could see, I'm lining about 3 over at one side here, and then you are going to trim off the edges. Same for the other side and also for the bottom. So we are going to do that, and then we are going to glue it down. Once you have done layering the chipboard, as you could see, the crate is about to evolve. Okay, so now the next step that we are going to do is to add some more chipboard to make it a little bit more realistic. So you realize that I have some leftover chipboard here. So we are going to lie about 2 of them here like this, and 1 over here. Okay, so how are you going to do this? If your box is like mine, has a 3 compartment here, so we are going to use this line as a gauge. So it will be like this. So I'm going to trim it to the length that I want. And then I will need 4 of them. So this I don't need them. And 2 more at the side here. Then I'm going to distress the corners. Then I'm going to glue them down. After you have done up gluing down all the chipboards, this is how it looks like. Does it look like a crate? It's not yet done. Okay, now is the fun part. Grab your Home Sweet Home stamps. I'm selecting the various stamps that I think that it will suit the crate, but feel free to use any of the images as you think that is more suitable. So I'm going to stamp them onto here, one at a time. There are several ways that you could do, but I prefer this way. That is, I glue on the chipboards, then I do the stamping. Another way is when you have trimmed all your strips, you can stamp on it, then you glue on it. It depends. It doesn't matter which method is a better one, but I prefer it this way so that I could have better control, and the images will not go out of sync, so as to speak. So now I'm going to stamp randomly around the crate. I'm using this Vesafine here, which capture very fine details, so I'm going to stamp them randomly using these various stamps around the crate. once you do up the stamping, it's more realistic. So if you want it to be a little bit more complex, you can stamp further, but I think this is good enough for me. And then you are done for the crate. And for some final touches, this is what I do, because I find it rather irritating here. And I actually have bred up some of the jute twine here, as you could see, and I'm going to line them around just like this. So how did I do this? It's actually very simple. If you have done crocheting, it's actually pretty easy for you. It's actually the chain stitch. Okay, you can use the crochet needle of a bigger size if you want to, but I prefer not to, because the jute string is very rough. So if you're going to use the crochet needle, you probably get very tired after you crochet a length that's that long. So I'm going to show you one simple way on how to do the chain stitch. So the very first thing is you're going to do a loop here, and then you insert the string from the loop, and then you pull, and you have this loop here, as you can see here. And then bring the string over and loop it through the loop, and then pull. So you are going to do this continuously. This is called a chain stitch. It saves me a lot of trouble by pleating them 3 individual string together. So this is how I do the chain stitch. It's exactly the same as the chain stitch in crocheting. It's just that instead of using the crochet needle, I'm actually using my hand. You can do this in front of the TV while watching your favorite drama, which I actually did that. There you go. So I'm going to glue down these over the edges here to make it a little bit more complete. This is the vegetable crate that I have actually embellished. I actually fussy cut some of the flowers here, and also this happiness is homemade from the paper collection. And then I create the dimension by adding some wood fiber here, and then I just layer them with some fern. This is a artificial plastic fern that I actually bought it many years ago, and some fake flowers here. Then over on the other end, same thing, I embellish with the chipboard, and these 2 little breads is from the staple collection. So basically this is how I decorate my crate. It's open, you can do whatever you want, but I just want to have a little bit of a a natural feel. That's why I like to decorate with a combination of some fussy cuts and some flowers. Okay, some ideas that you can use for this vegetable crate. You can use it as a decoration itself, or you can use it to store things. As a decoration, perhaps, you know, you can put some fake flowers or whatsoever. I have these plastic flowers that I bought in my local craft store, and then I cut them into smaller segments like this, because usually I don't do floral arrangement. I use them for embellishment purposes, so I can actually put it right here and store it as it is like this, and it actually makes a nice piece, if you could see like that. You know, it's like a nice decoration piece, a centerpiece for your dining table. Just an idea on what you could do. Or if not, because they are small enough, I can put all my tags and pockets labels here. Super convenient. If not, the new staples, the cloth fits, I can just dump it here. So these are some of the ideas on what you can do for this, and I have some pictures to show you more on how I use on this. And thanks for watching.